There we go, chapter 2! Originally, Hijikata-san granted me approval to accompany the captains on their rounds through Kyoto to search for my dad. Then he called me in. The denial phase. Right, we can get through this. So we're not allowed to because things with Joshu has gotten pretty bad in Kyoto, and to keep an eye on me and an eye on trouble is just causing for trouble, so we just stay here. We're grounded. I mean, we have a choice, but we return to our room. Wait. Wait. Hey, hold on! I got it, okay. Remain in the compound, there we go. Found it. After contemplating, I decided to stay in. I couldn't convince myself that I wouldn't be a burden to them during dangerous situations. And we've been through this. So, let's go! Yamazaki's come in with news that it's actually Ikeda that has the meeting set in place and it's going down, and they need somebody to deliver a message to Hijikata-san that is all the way on the other side of town. So, plan is in motions. We ask why me, pretty sure we've been through this. And now we're running. And Yamazaki, you should go. And Hijikata knows exactly why Sano-san has sent us out. Because things are happening. Okay, hey, go to the... Oh, we're... Really? I think this has been the only answer we have gotten thus far, which is stay with Hijikata-san. Alright, we're staying. And we're gonna continue. Let's skip this. Hijikata is just gonna confront the Aizu for being late, and please don't interfere. This is Shisengumi matters, not the Aizu matters. And July. Oh, right. Oh, we can skip this. Aiba, we've done your route like 2 routes ago. God, I don't know how to feel. Unless we've seen it before, I'm not repeating it in the future. And we're gonna stay behind. We're not going with the boys to help with the Aizu. We're not taking part of the Hamaguri rebellion. Oh no, the medicine of death has arrived. The Ishida medicinal powder. That was a thing that actually existed, and it still exists here. Nobody likes taking it except Nagakura for some damn reason. And we're going to go and really, the common room? Oh no. We find out about the Furies, or Ratsetsu as they say. We figured it out. Kind of, sort of, and that our father was involved. Oh no. November 1864. As we went deeper into autumn, the lush winds wrapped me as gorgeous clouds rippled across the cool gray sky. I think this is a new scene. Let's see where it goes. Here I go. I was carrying my lunch into the common room when I overheard a conversation. Oh yeah, this is new. I've never seen this before.
つまり会津藩と土佐藩の関係がややこしいことになっちまったってことか。ああ、お互い一人ずつ腹を切って手打ちってことになったが、後味が悪いったらあるしね。
I had a hunch on what the two were talking about, but I couldn't help myself from stopping when I'd caught on to their conversation. This summer, at Akebono-te... Oh, I almost had it right the first time. Akebono-te, a traditional Japanese restaurant, an incident occurred. Incident? This is news to me. Akebono-te incident. An incident where patrolling Shinsengumi performed an arrest at the Akebono-te. The aftermath sparked a series of hostile situations between the Tosa and Aizu domains. Well, that's new. The Aizu domain joined the Shinsengumi. Ah. Yeah, sleep schedules are weird when you don't stick to them or change them. The Aizu domain joined the Shinsengumi, but one of the Aizu members injured a member of the Tosa domain, causing a big problem. It took a while to shake the animosity between the Aizu and the Tosa domains.
もう飯の時間か。手が足りねえんなら手伝うぜ。
Oh, don't worry.
いいよ。全並べるぐらい喋りながらでもできるからな。
Huh. Alright. As I rushed to work, Harada laughed and followed behind me. Heisuke and Nagakura continued to talk while Harada and I were setting up.
その時会津藩と一緒に行動してた大使って誰だ？まさか。
そのまさかだよ。武田のやつ、すぐ見境なく刀を抜きやがって。
Of fucking course it was Takeda! Takeda was starting fucking shit, I swear. Nagakura sighed and then, speak of the devil. Oh, jeez.
失礼。こちらに近藤局長はおられるか？
As if summoned by his name, Takeda appeared with a sulky face in the common room. I believe Kondo-san is with Hichikata-san right now.
土方副長の？なるほど。
Takeda shook his head and he tried to leave the common room. Before he did so, however, he suddenly stopped to face everyone. Just so you all have the facts, I never draw my sword without thinking. Are you sure about that, Takeda?
あの土佐藩士が戦議に応じず逃げようとしたのが事の発端だ。間違えぬよう。
After spitting that out, Takeda stormed out of the common room.
なんだあいつ。聞いてやがったのかよ。
あんだけタイと会津藩に迷惑かけといてあの言い草が反省の色なしだな。
まあでも一理あるんじゃね？その土佐藩士だって素直に身元明かしゃいいのに逃げようとしたのが悪いんだし。
土佐藩には勤王党という尊攘派の集まりがあったからな。我々に関わりたくはなかったのだろう。
Tosa Loyalist Party, an organization located within the Tosa domain that believes in imperialism. They were led by Zui-san Takichi, but instability from constant opposition forced the group to disband. Nagakura perked up like a bunny at the sound of Saito-san's words, as if he remembered something.
そういえばこの間斎藤が高堂さんを探しに行った宿って寺田屋だったよな。
そうだが、それがどうかしたのか。
あそこの宿は薩摩藩士が懇意にしてるって話だが、土佐の脱藩浪人もよく泊まっていくらしいぜ。
Wait, does that mean... I looked towards Saito-san and he responded thoughtfully.
もしかすると、先日あんたに声をかけてきたあの男は土佐浪人かもしれんな。
どんなやつだったんだ？
I think his name was Umataro Saitani. He didn't look like he belonged to a domain, though. He looked more like a Ronin.
怪しいなそりゃ。詳しく調べた方がいいんじゃないか？
会津藩の立場を考えると、脱藩浪人とはいえ、土佐藩との間にいさかいを起こすべきではないと思うが。
だからって放っておくわけにはいかねえだろう。万が一ってこともあるし。
とりあえず本当に土佐浪人なのか 何の目的で今日にいるのかぐらいは知っておきてえとこだよな。
だな。そいつに会ったら探りを入れてくれね。写真とか今日にいる目的とかよ。
Oh no, we get to. Why, Nagakura? You're setting me to ask some stuff that this might not end well. Why? And why me? Get some information? I spoke to him very briefly the other day, but from our conversation, Saitani didn't appear to be a troublesome person in the least bit. I'll try my best, but I don't know if I can do what you want without sounding suspicious. If Saitani became aware of what I was doing and abducts me, the Shinsengumi would be in trouble. Oh no, not abduction! Oh god. Before I could imagine it, Nagakura waved his hand.
ああ、いや、今のは冗談だぜ。いくらなんでも、そんな危ねえ真似はさせられねえし。
存在そのものが冗談のお前が冗談言っても受けるわけねえだろうが。少しは考えろよ。
Nagakura is our official dumbass.
存在そのものが冗談ってなんだよ。今のはさすがに傷ついたぞ。
After setting the table, I ate lunch with the men. The next day, I joined Saito-san and the members of the 3rd Division on a round. At first, I thought I recognized someone who looked like my father, but I realized the only thing that was similar was his kimono. The face looked nothing like his. I don't know how many times I can endure this disappointment. I tried to fall back into formation with the men when someone yelled my name from the crowd, and I stopped walking to glance behind.
いや、まさかお前にまた会えるとは思わなかったな。これも運命ってやつか？
Oh!
俺のことは覚えてくれてるよな。寺田屋で親父さんを一緒に探した。
I remember Saitani-san. Thank you so much for accompanying me during my search. Saitani-san laughed heartedly, baring his bright white teeth.
いやいや、結局見つけてやれなかったからな。あの後どうだったんだ？親父さん見つかったのか？
Well, no. Saitani-san's expression dropped into a glum frown, as if he felt genuine pity for me.
ああ、そっか。まだ見つからないって決まったわけじゃねえだろうし。大変な時こそ明るく行こうぜ。
How do I feel about you so far? Saitani. I feel like when you're with Chizuru, you're like kind of actually genuine a bit, at least with your expressions. Your body, on the other hand, says several different things, apparently.
ってことで、これからどこかでうまいものでも食わねえか。
Well, I was about to decline his offer when I remembered. The Shinsengumi wanted me to investigate Saitani's origin and purpose for staying in Kyo. Wasn't that a joke, though? The Shinsengumi had been looking out for me, so it was time I looked out for them. The 3rd Division went on before me. From the distance, I saw Saito-san stop for a second before nodding in approval from afar once he realized whom I had met. Saito, you are not helping the situation!
どうしたんだ？こんないい男と喋ってるのに、よそ見なんて釣れねえな。
No, it's not like that. I shook my head and tried to change the subject. So, Saitani-san.
ん？俺がどうかしたか？
You see, I wanted to ask you something.
おう、なんだ？俺に答えられることなら、どんなことでも答えてやるぜ。 どうした？何か聞きたいことがあるんじゃないのか？
Don't ask him. I think it's the actual answer, right? Yep, don't ask him. Well, it would be rude to impose a question on him like this. I mean, I barely know Saitani-san, and definitely not enough for me to try prying information from him. Oh, never mind.
そうか？せっかく何でもいいって言ってるのに謙虚なんだな。ところで俺の方からもお前に聞きたいことがあるんだがいいか？
Sure, what is it? I answer without even thinking of what it could be.
お前が本当に聞きたいのは俺の正体についてなんだろ？
Well, he read our mind. He changed his tone, shifted his posture upright, and went straight to the point. It was jarring.
やっぱりか。聞きたいんなら最初から素直に言えばいいのに。
How?
いや、さっきの緊張した様子を見りゃ予想つくだろう。
Oh, jeez.
お前が俺に聞きたいことなんて限られてるだろうし。
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that obvious. I was disappointed in my investigation skills, but Saitani-san continued nonetheless.
いや、実は脱藩してることもあって、この間は本名を名乗れなくてな。悪かった。
Really? Never would have guessed.
お前に変名を名乗ったことが心残りだったんだが、またこうして会えたってことは縁があるってことだよな。
I guess so. Also, it's true that in this time period they gave themselves different names. Their true name usually hidden. Though some of them still chose to go by their actual name. They could have multiple names.
せっかくだから本名を名乗ろう。俺の名は坂本龍馬。土佐の脱藩浪人だ。
We found Sakamoto. Ryoma Sakamoto, a lawless ronin from Tosa. After heading the Navy training location, he established the Kameyama Company in Nagasaki. He also serves as the head of the Kaientai, maritime support. They're morphing? Sakamoto. Just as Nagakura and the other men predicted, he was a Tosa Ronin.
今は幕府が神戸に開いてる海軍総連所ってところにいてな。
Navy training location, a base. A base set by the shogunate in Kobe where individuals could learn how to maneuver steamboats. Kaishu Katsu is the manager of the warship magistrate.
今日にはその関係でちょいちょい顔を出しに来てるんだ。
So, you're allied with the shogunate?
ま、そんなところだな。
If he's an ally of the shogunate, then at the very least he wouldn't be an enemy of the Shinsengumi. That felt like a huge burden lifted from me. So, what exactly does one do at the Navy training location?
船の操り方を学んでるんだ。つっても、その辺のちっさな漁船じゃねえぞ。黒船だ。
Black Ship, a warship which was used by Commodore Matthew Perry when he first visited Japan with the intention of opening up its borders. That still wasn't a nice time. Black Ship? Like a warship? Didn't someone... Commodore Perry visit in one of those 10 years ago? Perry, an American who came aboard a steamboat and brought a handwritten letter from the President of the United States. Who was the President of the United States at this time? I have zero clue. It's 1864.
そう、そいつを俺たち日本人で操れるようにするためのところだ。
So, even we can be taught to steer ships like that? I've never seen one myself, but I heard stories about how black ships were as big as whales and that they could cut through the sea.
扱えるに決まってるだろうが。西洋人だろうが、日本人だろうが、頭の中身はそう変わらねえよ。
Sakamoto-san's passion was contagious, and he impressed me with his enthusiastic style of speech.
船はいいぜ。特に新型の蒸気船はいい。荷物を普通の半分以下の日数で運べるし、倍以上積むこともできる。
Alright. Wow.
だろう？物が動けば金も動く。蒸気船がありゃ大金持ちになれるってことだ。今海を支配してるイギリスって国は世界一の海賊国家だからな。
Great Britain is the largest nation of pirates! How could this not be more true? Just look at their museums!
戦をするにせよ、商売をするにせよ、これからは蒸気船の時代だぜ。
I see. Sakamoto-san was rallying on so quickly that I was honestly overwhelmed by his words. Then, as usual, he snapped into another tone entirely.
お前はいいやつだな。人を騙せる性分じゃない。俺から何も聞き出せなかったって言うと、咎めを受けることになるんだろ？
It won't be like that. Before I could finish, a visitor approached us.
おいサイタニ、誰と話言うがな。知り合いかい？
You're new? Who are you? An aggressive-looking Ronin walked up to us, staring me down and keeping his guard up.
あは、ちょっとした知り合いよ。
Sakamoto picked up on my discomfort, so he discreetly whispered to me off to the side.
こいつは中岡言うで。ま、俺の相棒みたいなもんよ。
ちょっと待て。俺は石川野郎が。にゃあ、サイタニ。
Seinosuke Ishikawa. Shintaro Nakaoka's alias.
いや、俺はもう変名を明かしてもう中期。おまんだけ伏せちょっても意味ないがよ。
まったく。無関係のもんに平然と本名を名乗るなんて、危機感がないがにも程があるき。
Nakaoka looked gravely at me, and his tone was short and brusque.
中岡慎太郎だ。
Shintaro Nakaoka, a warrior who hailed from the Tosa domain. After becoming a lordless samurai, he traveled with the Choshu domain and later cooperated with Sakamoto. He commands the Rikuentai. Blech. I'm Yukimura. Nice to meet you. I bowed to him and Nakaoka glared at me with a suspicious gaze.
おまん、女か。
Oh, me? I wasn't expecting him to realize it so quickly, so I felt a sudden rush of panic, but luckily Sakamoto covered for me.
わけあって男の格好をしゆうらしい。まあそこは目をつぶっちゃってや。
どんなわけかは知らんけんど、この時世、男の格好で今日うろつくなんてうさんくさいにゃ。
I didn't know how to respond.
と、坂本。人を待たせちょいて、こんなことしゆう場合やないろ。
お、そうやったにゃ。ほんなら、ぼちぼち行くかい。俺はおまんのことが気に入ったぜよ。じゃあにゃ、また会おう。元気でおれよ。
That was a lot more than just laters. Oh, you take care as well, Sakamoto-san.
次に今日に来る側はいつになるかわからんけどその時にでもまた会えるとええにゃ。
That would be lovely.
おい坂本、いつまで別れを惜しみゆうがな。はよ行くぞ。
あ、おい、耳を引っ張るな。お前、何をそんなに怒っちゅうがいで。
うるさい。目を離したらすぐフラフラしてから。
The two bickered as they disappeared into the many faces of the Kyoto streets. I love that. Sakamoto mentioned he was stationed at the Navy training location, right? I wonder if that was the case for Nakaoka, too. They didn't seem like bad people. Suddenly, I was brought back to reality.
Yukimura.
I heard my name behind me and I quickly turned to hear a familiar voice. Saito-san! Sumimasen. I fell behind the line.
いや、気にする必要はない。それよりも今あんたと話していた男だが、あれは先日の。
He's the man from the Terada Inn. His name is Sakamoto.
何か聞き出せたか？
Only a little bit. According to him, he's a Tosa Ronin, but he happens to be allied with the shogunate. He claims he was undergoing training in order to steer black ships in Kobe.
幕府の海軍か。
Saito-san glanced sharply towards the direction in which Sakamoto departed. That's a look, Saito. Then he pierced his gaze directly in me.
先ほど坂本と言っていたが、埼谷という名ではなかったのか。
Ah, he caught on. He told me his real name is Ryoma Sakamoto, and since he's a Ronin, he was saying it's hard for him to share his actual identity.
もう一人いたようだが、あの男は。
His colleague was named Nakaoka. Saito-san fell silent, seemingly lost in thought that I no doubt couldn't understand, then responded.
巡察に戻るぞ。予定から大幅に遅れてしまった。
Oh, I'm sorry. I felt awful to have delayed Saito-san's plans like that, but I found myself relieved that Sakamoto wasn't an enemy of the shogunate or the Shinsengumi. He did say he didn't know when he'd visit Kyo next, but I hope I get to see him again. I recalled Sakamoto's passionate gaze as he spoke. He told me all about those black ships, and it was fascinating to me to meet someone so enamored with the future. Ryuma Sakamoto's warrior record has been released! Whatever that means!